welcome back to How to Bake That. My name's Natalie, and this week I'm going to show you how to make a lemon tart. Now let's get on with the video. The things you will need to make the dough for this tart will be 1 1/4 cups all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup powdered sugar, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1 stick of cold butter cut into cubes, 1 large egg, and 1/2 teaspoon vanilla extract. The first thing we want to do is add our flour, sugar, and salt into a medium-sized bowl and use our whisk until combined. This is what it all looks like when it's all mixed together. It just looks like one flour. And what we're going to do now is take our butter and put in a couple cubes right now. And what we're going to do is you can also use a Vitamix or a food processor for this, but I've chosen to use my hands. They have some gloves on so that my hands don't get that dirty. And all you want to do is just squeeze it in and combine it until it resembles crumbs, a crumbly mixture. And you just want to keep adding in like 2 cubes at a time until it's all in. And this is what it should look like when it's done. It's kind of like cornmeal, like that. It's crumbly. So now that we're done putting in our butter, we're going to add in our vanilla and our egg. And once again, you can use a food processor or a Vitamix for this, but I've chosen to use my hands. And this will get very messy. So this is what our dough looks like afterwards, and it's easy to shape into a ball and stays together. And so this is pretty sticky, so we had to add in a little bit more flour so that we were able to mix it without it sticking everywhere. So now what we're going to do is just put it into a ball, and we're going to wrap it up in plastic wrap, and we're going to stick it in the fridge for at least 1 hour. Now, if you're not going to use this right away, you might want to refrigerate it for up to 3 days. After that, you'll have to use it, but we will have to refrigerate it overnight. So this is, I've put it on top of plastic wrap, and we're going to wrap it almost like a present. We're going to bring one side over, and then we're going to take the other side and pull it over. Then we're just going to pick it up, stick this under it, and then we're just going to hold in the sides. And you want to wrap this very tight so that it does not dry out. And to ensure that it does not dry out, we have a Ziploc bag, and we're going to stick it inside of that. And just want to press out all the air. Close it and just stick it in the fridge. So this is our dough, and it's out of the fridge, and it's just a little ball. I've kneaded it a little bit so that it's easier to roll out. And we have a 9-inch fluted removable bottom tart pan. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll out an 11-inch circle, and then we will put it in there. So we got a rolling pin and a lightly floured surface. I have a pile of flour here so that if I need it, I can use it. And I put some on the dough since this is a very greasy dough because of all the butter and the egg. So what I'm going to do is just press it down. And try and roll it out. And this mat actually has measurements here. It tells me when I'm at the 11-inch circle. So if you don't have this, you can just put the pan over it, and as long as there's about 2 inches away from the outside of the pan in dough, then you should be good. And if you have a little bit more than 11 inches, then you can just cut it off later when you put it in the pan. Now what I'm going to do is take my pan, and I'm going to lift this sheet of dough up, and I'm just going to run my finger around it real quick so that it unsticks from all the sides, because you don't want it to break. So now that that's in there, I've got a sharp paring knife here, and what I'm going to do is take this excess and just cut it off. And since we have this leftover dough from cutting, if anything breaks or you can see the pan through the dough, just take some of it and just put it where there are holes. So this is what ours looks like once the dough is in there. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take some plastic wrap here, and you don't have to press it in or real tightly. You just gotta put it around and tuck it under. And what we're going to do after it's covered is we're going to stick it into the freezer for about 30 minutes or until it's firm. And the reason we're doing this is because frozen dough is less prone to shrinking while baking. In your freezer, it might not take 30 minutes, but when you touch it and no fingerprint comes off and no dent is made, and you feel that it is firm enough, then you can take it out, no matter if it's 30 minutes or more. So now what we're going to do while our dough is in the freezer, we're going to make the filling for this tart. The things you will need to make the filling for this tart will be 3 whole eggs, 3/4 cup granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon of lemon zest, 1/2 cup freshly squeezed lemon juice, 2 tablespoons heavy cream, and 1/2 cup or 1 stick of unsalted butter cut into small cubes. So what we do now is we need a tablespoon of lemon zest and 1/2 cup of lemon juice. So we have a juicer here that we're going to use to juice them, and we have a zester here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a lemon, and we've already rolled them on the table so that we have the juices that we need. And we're just going to cut them down the center, just in half. Each one. We're going to start with this, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this into our juicer here, and we're going to take this one and just press it down and turn it. And we're just going to set this. And make sure to try and get all the seeds out of it, because the seeds will make it bitter, and also no one wants to eat a seed. So that's 2 lemons there, and they've given us 1/3 of a cup. So what we're going to do now is take our other lemon and cut that in half and juice it. Now I have a spoon, because some of the seeds got in here. So what I'm going to do is just fish out the seeds and discard them. You know what? Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? What a more efficient way would be is use a strainer. So what I'm going to do is I have a strainer for a tiny bowl, and I'm going to put this in there. And all the pulp and the seeds should go into the strainer. So now I have my zester here, and I have one giant lemon. Now what I'm going to do is take my cutting board once again, and I'm just going to zest it over top of it. And all you got to do is take the part here, which is sharp, and go against it. So I'm just going to do this, kind of like grating cheese. See that white right there? That's not what we want, okay? So we just want the outermost part of the lemon, which is the yellow. So now in a medium-sized heat-proof bowl, we're going to take a whisk, and we're going to whisk together eggs, sugar, zest, lemon juice, and heavy cream, and just whisk it until it's all combined. So, right there, that's what it looks like. It's frothy. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this and go over to the stove, and we're going to create a double boiler by taking about 2 inches of simmering water, put it into a pot, and we're going to put this over top of it and cook it. So we have it, we've created a double boiler here. We have a pot of simmering water, and we have this over top of it, holding it with my non-dominant hand, and whisking with my right, which is my dominant hand. What I'm going to do is we're going to have to whisk this constantly and until the mixture thickens and the eggs have cooked, which it can take 10 to 20 minutes. So this is thickened now, and what I'm going to do is use a wooden spoon, and if it coats it, then it's done. See how it stays on the spoon? That means it's done. So now we have our curd from off the stove. It's thickened, and while it's still very hot, we're going to run it through a strainer into another heat-proof bowl. This one is ceramic. And just scrape down the side so that everything gets in. So now I'm just gonna put this through the sieve. Just make sure that it goes through. Just try and punch it through. So now we're going to add in the butter, only a couple cubes at a time, and you want to whisk it very well because it makes for a light and airy texture. If you don't whisk it very good and get the air incorporated, then it will turn out dense and thick, which is not what we want. Alright, so that's what it looks like when it's done. It's a bit thicker now. And now what we're going to do is let it cool to room temperature. And you can also stick this in the fridge until you're ready to use it. So what I have here is the dough for the tart, and it's out of the freezer, and it's like rock solid now. And we've put parchment paper in it, covering the sides and the bottom, and we've put dried rice in the bottom of it. It's uncooked, and the reason we've done this is because we don't want the dough to rise. So if you have pie weights, then you can put those in there, but you can substitute for that for uncooked rice or dried beans. Now we're going to put it in the oven at 370 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. So this is our tart dough. It's completely baked, and we put ours in for 20 minutes, and it was just the right amount of time. And now we're going to take our filling here, and we're going to put it into the dough, the crust. this is not going to be thick. And as you may have noticed, the while it was in the oven, the dough actually shrunk. It went down. The stuff in the bottom, though, since it was covered with the weights, did not shrink, but the sides went down. That's why we had to make it come up, and we had to have 2 inches between the bottom and the top. So now I have a spatula, and I'm going to take it and sort of smooth it and just spread it around the crust. So now what we need to do is refrigerate this for at least 4 hours or until it is completely chilled. So now I've cut my father a piece of the tart, and I'm going to have him come over and rate it from 1 to 10.
Hello.
Go ahead, try it, guys.
Here we go. Plate's nice and cold. You think this will taste okay after I just add a bunch of gum?
I don't know.
It's like creamy and lemony. Is there lemon in this?
Yes. It's lemon zest and lemon juice.
I knew it was zesty. I can taste the zest. Well, that's really good.
So what do you give it from 1 to 10?
Well, it's tart. I really like it. It's really sweet. Yep. It's the best tart I've ever had. It's a 10 out of 10.
Okay, 10 out of 10.
Is it what do you call it? Tartus?
Call it a lemon tart.
Not a lemon tartus?